It's March 12th, 2025. It's Wednesday. You know what that means. It's time for another Wednesday midweek video. We got CPI coming in a little light this morning. Tariffs ramping up, putting on the pressure on the other sovereign nations. NASDAQ, in response, selling off a bit. You already expected that though, because you've been locked in here on Momentum Movers. Gold still in that balance range. We tried to break a little lower. Yesterday? We peaked right back above it. Sitting right now, 29.41. Where are we going from here? Sit back, hit that like and subscribe button. Go ahead, turn on that notification bell, and let's see what we got for the rest of the week. Alright, so starting off right here on the moving average chart, we're going to start off on NASDAQ. Looking at the momentum, looking at the weekly time frame. Coming in right here, we opened up Globex on Sunday and immediately sold off. There's a bit of a gap up there left unfilled, but just looking at the moving averages, I mean, it's very apparent that momentum was to the downside, getting below significant moving averages. Right now, just gauging it off a moving average support, I'd say the 19,700 is a very important key level. Let's switch down to the daily. Looking at the daily, so far, if we were to close today, it wouldn't quite be a 3-bar reversal unless we get above yesterday's high. But nice doji candle right there. I like to see how we leave the range of yesterday. We got PPI coming in tomorrow. If it breaks us out of this range, that would be telling. Also, contracts are in rollover, so keep that in the back of your mind as well. Switching down to the 4-hour. I mean, it's just been a consistent downtrend, making lower highs and lower lows all the way. We haven't really on the swing count put in a higher high. That higher high won't come in until 20,300, which is also, when we get to the levels chart, a significant area that I'll bring up again. Going on down to the hourly, we can't seem to crack above that 19,794. It's been a bit of a significant resistance. Again, 19,700 to 20,300, pretty key areas. Let's go ahead and pull over our levels chart and see what we have there. So this is the daily. Let's go ahead and go down to a 4-hour. We were looking for these equal highs to get violated so that we could initiate our short. But we came in on Globex on Sunday. This current Sunday was right about here. We came in and immediately sold off. Did not get the opportunity to take the short from higher above. If you remember from the weekend video, I was saying the most degenerate thing I could do and that I'd like to refrain from was to immediately sell on Globex, looking for, immediate downside. I said that the best thing to do would be to look for a short from higher so that you'd be able to limit risk. Market made a fool out of me, instantly sold off. I mean, did not look back. So where are we right now? We're down here below the range that I was looking for, that we had drawn. We have been looking at over the last 2 weeks. And that range is the 19,815s up to 20,900. That range, we are firmly below it. As long as we're below it, it doesn't even need to be said we're bearish, right? I'd still, at the minimum, like to find that short below 20,359. If we can poke back inside the range and fail there, I would be interested in taking that short. We could get rid of the neutral case because we aren't, all that neutral. I'm gonna leave the bear case right here. I think this was the most extreme bear case, and we've, far exceeded that. But going into the end of the week, going into PPI, Globex tonight, PPI tomorrow, I mean, I would like to get that short off of 20,359, but if all that we could get is like the 19,917, then I guess that would have to suffice. But that's what I see right there. It's just one case that I'm gonna go into the end of the week with looking for a short from higher to participate in this market. However, if we reclaim, I don't think I want to take that short above. I don't know, it's a bit iffy. I think we should just watch it because, like I mentioned before, there is a potential to have, well, we're not closing above it. So yeah, as long as we're closing today below here, I just watch the 19,700s, right? I think that's going to be a significant area. Any rejections below that, I think, continue lower. But you're going to want to not, I don't mean to say you're going to want to, but I'm not going to want to just take a short in between the range of 19,815 and 20,360, right? I want to take a range at those levels, but not in between, knowing that if I preempt the short and get in early, it could get up to and, you know, surpass 20,359, and above that, you know, things could get somewhat bullish and still be bearish on the long term, right? We have plenty room to put in for a lower high, right? We could come we could come very high and put in a lower high. I don't think that'll happen, but you know, if you're managing risk well, you have to keep that in the back of your mind. Ideally, the lower high comes from or below 20,359. Just looking at why in the past, that area, that range, has been a significant support and resistance in the past, and I think it'd be a good arbiter of price, a good place, you know, just to say, hey, above this we have a decent amount of room to the upside. Below this, it could provide a significant resistance for a decent rejection, right? So I'm looking at that level going into the end of the week, beginning of next week, where if we do see a counter trend rally, that would be the cheapest place to look for a short there, and where we're approaching right now, the 19,815s, right? So really just these two levels is all that I would be interested in. Anything in between them, not so much, right? Just 20,359 and 19,815. Okay, I think we're just gonna go right ahead on and look at gold while we're here. Gold at the top of that balance range that we have been stalking for a while now, the top of the red box, it did peak below. It looks, you know, this is my first time looking at it in a while. We got back into that previous week's range. This may be the area to take that cheap short, right? Because if we get back below, if you were looking to short gold, this is the absolute cheapest short, right? 29.39, 29.40. We're currently sitting at 29.40 right now, right? So when Globex opens tomorrow, I would really watch these prices. If we stay below the red box, then we would be looking to, you know, see if we could get that cheap short from the 27.92 area, right? Like there's a lot of room to the downside. If gold does want to break today's high, I think today's high is the most I'd be willing to risk. If we keep putting in highs on the daily, accepting inside of this weekly balance range from what it ended the 25th of the 28th to the 25th of last month. Right now we're poking below it, right? So as we speak right now in current price action, all right, this is kind of the trade that I was speaking of. Like if I was trading this right now, I would be short. My stop would be fairly tight, right? I mean, even if you just got it on 5 micros, this is the move, you know, you would be looking to take advantage of if you were bearish on gold, or even if you're bullish on gold, but just knowing that it's overextended and the cheapest long comes from lower. That's not a bad short. I think when we look at this on the weekend video, we'll come back to this moment right now being like, hey, if we had taken that short, the risk was easily to be managed and the downside potential was pretty decent, right? I think I'm gonna leave gold there. I mean, we can look at the momentum chart on gold. That's fine as well. Let's take a look on the daily, where we have, get rid of some of this clutter. So starting on the weekly is still looking bullish, right? It's a cheap short, but it could keep going. It could keep getting cheaper. It could always keep getting cheaper. The daily, again, I wouldn't want today's daily candle. I wouldn't want to, you know, if we break above it, this thing may run and we could be looking at new all-time highs. Looking at the 4 hour, the 4 hour is in the bottoming formation, so that kind of looks bullish. We can, the cheapest long, again, you know, the low 29s, you know, 29.17 according to momentum. So it's you know, the 4 hour is pretty bullish. The 1 hour, I think this is where it starts looking a bit bearish, but you may see a pullback to buy, maybe off of the 29.08s back down there, the 29.30s. I'm gonna keep this video pretty short. I think we're gonna wrap it up there.